I've had some requests lately to post higher note videos that are in some ways difficult for me to meet. The quickest way to experience vocal progression, especially if you're a beginner, is to do it yourself. There can be certain stages where someone hasn't worked at doing a certain register before, and they can sing higher than they know, and when they discover that, they can actually progress quite quickly. And that seems to be the thing that people are trying to vicariously experience through my videos. At least because I had a writer's meeting summary talking about what it might be like to be in somebody else's body and be able to do the physical things they can do. Now, the trouble is that even if that were possible, if somebody could body swap with me and know what it's like to sing my notes, they would not get the experience they're looking for, as far as I can tell, in the comments made in response to that writer's meeting video. This is because I have bypassed the stage where I improved most quickly. None of the times when I've improved the fastest have ever been documented. They go by too quickly, or I don't think they're of importance at the time, which is, a terrible shame. We all think we have to have something that's, way up there, or almost close to world class before anyone will take notice of it. But in terms of the progression, what's most impressive is taken for granted and happens on in an everyday, unremarkable way. So then when the time came for this stuff to be popular and people to want more of it, I've already gone past that stage. If you want to know what it's like to improve rapidly in a vocal sense, I think you have to experience that for yourself, especially if you're a relative beginner. I've had times where I've had leaps where I've gone past what you can see in my most popular videos. It took me several years to get from an F to a G sharp. And then I tried a different technique and jumped past several notes. I went to a B above the G sharp and then up from there. So that improvement is like a missing evolutionary link. It's just not there. I had jumped over several notes. And I also went up a little more quickly when I did the notes that are partly shown in the E flat E F6 series, the full voice series as I've called them, whether that's best terminology or not. But there was a time before that I moved up from a B. It took me a long time to get from a B5 to a C6, which I've talked about in my videos. And then there was a fairly rapid rate where I went one note every 2 months. But I don't have those documented, and I can't go back in time and show them. So I'm trying to, of course, develop my voice all the time, but it's not like it was when I did what have since become my most popular videos, because then I didn't know there was any other way of producing high notes, and I didn't know or wasn't interested in developing my voice in more than one place. I was just working at that one spot. Now I'm working on about 3 different fronts. So it makes it more difficult in some ways. I've been posting, I think, a higher frequency of vocal improvement videos in the last couple of years than I was when I first started the channel. But it becomes challenging in some respects because I knew of only one way to produce a high note when I made what are now those popular videos. And now I know of other ways, so I have a tough time to avoid slipping into the other technique. But I'll see what I can do. In many ways, vocal development is a one-way trip, and although you learn some things along the way, you can lose others. Whether I've lost the ability to produce the notes in the way I did, well, almost in a way you always do. I think my voice is changing continuously, and so almost all my progression videos are either things that I'd done for the first time when I recorded them, and therefore they can't be repeated, or they're things that I can have a chance at exceeding only every few months or so on a very auspicious day. And since I can sing them with only a low frequency, they're almost by nature unique and unrepeatable and uncopyable, even for me. So I can put up new developments. I've made some improvements in some ways recently in how I sing notes in the middle to upper fourth and lower fifth octave, but they are improvements in how I'm able to hang on to notes in particular songs, copyrighted songs, unfortunately. So I haven't really got much I can post that will show how I've improved in terms of being able to hold a particular note, because they're sung to copywritten songs. I am developing in various ways, in some ways along a wider front than I was before. But in part, I can't, unless I jump to a new register, I can't replicate or provide the experience that people are asking for, in that they want to know what it's like to be a beginner. It's best to do that yourself.